All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, Ba'Shem Arakakwadash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim that are preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. And of course, Shalom to you few sisters out there, the Aquathium that believe. This is Luke 18:6. And the Lord said, "Hear what the unjust judge saith. And shall not Yahweh avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?" We're living in the time where, the Lord, he is going to begin to avenge his elect. Now, the elect, consists of, the elect consists of, the prophets that are out there on the highways and byways, which are men. The tabernacle of the Most High is with men. That's the governing body. The men that you see on the highways and byways, teaching and preaching, prophesying. But then you have 1/3 of our people that make up the elect as well. The 1/3 is the elect. 2/3 of our people are going to die here in America. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi is going to avenge us, even of 2/3 of our own people that come against us. And we cry day and night unto the Lord. When we do these videos, we're sighing and crying. When we're in our, time, our life off camera, we're sighing and crying. The scriptures even say that our spirit groaneth, words that can be uttered. Just the pain that we go through and things we don't say or think. Our spirit, cries unto the Heavenly Father. When you're asleep and your spirit is somewhat disconnected from your body, it's sighing and crying to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. It's verse 8. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Meaning in our lifetime, man. In our lifetime, in this age, this generation, the Lord is going to avenge us. The Lord is going to return. We tell you that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi is going to return in this age. It's not 10, 20, 30, 100, 1,000 years from now. This is soon. This has got to be less than 10 years, man. Just seeing the direction the world is heading. They've already got the microchip and, implanting microchips and devices into people's brains, man. So that prophecy is here. This gospel has been preached throughout the four corners of the earth. The scriptures say when that takes place and it reaches, every ear of the 1/3, the elect, then shall the end come. So we're in the time of the end. It says, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, when Yahawashi returns, shall he find faith on the earth? And yes, the Lord is going to find, the elect, the 1/3, faithful, okay, patiently waiting for him. What sparked this was our camp yesterday. There was an Israelite woman, an Israelite foreigner, elderly woman, and she was out there listening to us, prophesy. And when we mentioned the mark of the beast, the microchip and technology that, is going to assist, in this prophecy being fulfilled, this elderly woman, which, by the way, she said on camera she's 77 years old. She mentioned that when she was younger, she knew a man that went to Stanford whose father created the microchip, or had a hand in the production or creation of microchips. Now, the first microchips had to have came out, all right, in the late 50s or early mid 60s. Now, let's Google it to fact check. All right, this is according to Google. And it says the first working microchip integrated circuit was invented in 1958 by Jack Kilby of Texas Instruments. He successfully demonstrated the first tiny germanium-based integrated circuit. And for those of you that don't know, germanium, all right, is an alloy of silver. Okay, I'm gonna look that up as well. All right, let's get that. Well, I stand corrected. Germanium is not a silver alloy itself. It is a chemical element, a metalloid. However, it is used as an alloying agent with silver to create argentium. So that's what I was actually thinking of when I seen, germanium. I was thinking of argentium. But let's go back to what we had about the microchip. All right, it says he successfully demonstrated the first tiny germanium-based integrated circuit on September 12th, 1958. Shortly after, in early 1959, Robert Noyce of Fairchild Semiconductor developed a more practical silicon-based version. And we live close to the Silicon Valley, which is, San Jose, Fremont, Sunnyvale. That's the Silicon Valley. That is like the tech capital of the world. All right, of America. And, going back to what I had mentioned about silver, now I stand corrected, so Slovakia, but silver is a superconductor, okay? And that's why they need, that's why these banks are going crazy to buy up the silver and the gold, okay? And, I'm pretty sure the gold value, the price of the gold and silver is going to skyrocket before they crash the system. Okay, before they bring in a full digital system. And if not, while it's a full-on digital system, to buy up all those resources, man. Because they need these metals to build, solar panels and microchips and conductors to bring in this new world, this new digital world order. Okay? Which they're only going to accomplish, as much as the Lord is going to allow them. That being said, the elect will not receive the mark of the beast. The elect will not be microchipped. Okay? So, shall the Lord find faith on the earth, going back to that, this camp with that woman. she had mentioned that she knew the man, or knew the son of the man that created or had hands in bringing about, microchips. Now, we just read that the first one came out of Texas, and she mentioned that this man's son that she meant went to Stanford, which Stanford is a major university out here in California. Stanford has a lot of people that are into science and, how should I say this, the medical field, But the Lord, He's going to find faith in the earth. This elderly woman, she was just ecstatic to listen to the word. And we get a lot of old heads, a lot of old bottles that will not stop and give the Lord the time of day. Okay? Or something being preached, the scriptures being preached unto them, something out of the scriptures being preached unto them, tends to rub a lot of these elderly people the wrong way, because they're used to the lies that they've been taught. And then a lot of old people, they'll call you, "Oh, young man, what do you know, young man?" Because they feel like all the experiences they've been through, they know more. And we're not mature enough or old enough to have experience. But little does the world know, okay, the elect, the 1/3, all right, are the first fruits. Okay? They're the oldest souls. They're the first souls. That's why they're called the first fruits. Okay? And yes, the first fruits are the elect. All right? Starting with the, men of the elect, the prophets. See? So this woman, she was listening. She didn't cut us off. And at times where she would speak, the brother, a warrior, would, tell her to pipe down, Of course, didn't yell at the woman or anything, just been like, "Hey, just listen." And she would chill out. She would listen. And then she, towards the end of the camp, which we were out there like an hour 40, hour and 50, I believe, she said, "Wow, I don't know how I'm listening to this and my body is not hurting." She was like, "I'm 77 years old and I don't understand. Usually just for me, walking around, standing around, I usually get, aches." She was explaining like, she didn't know how, but we knew how. We knew it was the Spirit of the Lord. Kept her here to hear that. Kept her around to listen. Which puts a lot of you young people to shame. You got a 77-year-old woman, 77 years old, stood out there, amen, like 90% of the camp, if not more than 90%. And that proves that, hey, the elect are going to find this truth. Just for her effort, she could be part of the elect. She could be part of the 1/3. Okay? Now, time will tell, but a lot more people are going to listen and be sealed. Yahawashi is going to find faith on the earth. And that woman was an experience to reveal that. Okay? Hey, so with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, Bahashem, Harakakodash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.